Hello everyone and welcome to an overview of a map in Company of Heroes 2. Again, I'm Seth and the name of the map is called Blood Brothers Part 5 Assault. Now, we will follow the usual structure because you know the drill how it goes with me. We will have a backstory, settings, then the map layout and maybe some advices. Now let's move on to the backstory. The backstory is, the following. So you are a Soviet force here. You're trying to get to Berlin, but the Yanks are standing in your way. If you played the previous maps, you will know that there was a American that was pretending to be your dispatcher and he gave you false information regarding some of your previous missions. And so now you need to basically push through the Americans in order to get to Berlin. Or you were going around them, but then you encountered them and now you need to hold off against them in order to get to Berlin, something like that. Doesn't matter. Basically the Americans are the bad guys here and you're the good guy, which is a bit surprising considering that you're the Russian, those stereotypes. But we covered the backstory, now let's explain the settings. The settings usually revolve around what you need to put before you start the match, so here's what is recommended for that. No mod, standard resources, fixed positions, and a victory point with a counter of 1000 points. Got that? Good. Also the population cap has been increased to a whopping 400, which I think is the largest of the population caps in all of the Blood Brothers series maps. So yeah, this speaks something about it. Now let's have a look at the layout. I won't explain this type of terrain because, this is the starting position. The enemy shouldn't come here if you're a good player, but basically a bit flooded, a bit trees, a bit, houses, nothing special. Left side of the map, as we can see, excuse me, my manners, I didn't explain what each player gets. Player 1 gets an armored force, which consists of 2 IS-2 heavy tanks and 4 T-34s. He also gets extra fuel and he also gets the ability of vehicle crew repairs, which is essential considering that he will need to repair his vehicles and that he will be the one that will push in the middle of the map. More about that in the map layout. Player 2 on the other hand plays a different role. He controls mostly infantry, actually only infantry, on the left and right side of the map. His job will be to hold off the enemy from the victory points. And player 3, which was me in this case, plays the artilleryman. There are 2 artillery batteries, each consisting of 4 Il-220s and 1 B-4, serving as the hammer, obviously. Player 2 gets more manpower and he also gets access to fear propaganda, while player 3 gets extra munitions. He serves as a support role and he can build Il-220 artillery pieces and can equip his engineers with salvage kits. Now each of the players gets a certain amount of units through time. These reinforcements are powerful. You usually get anti-tank guns, but not the anti-tank guns manned by men. The anti-tank guns like, tank destroyers and that sort. Some heavy tanks, that's what each of the players will get. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't spawn units. You will need those units. There's a reason why there's a 400 population cap here, and that's to incentivize a grand strategy. You do not know if there would be a penal troop needed here in order to push back the Americans. That one penal trooper might be all that stands between you successfully pushing and you retreating back. Now I'm exaggerating, but you get the picture. Now let's have a look at the layout. As I started here, the left side of the map can be only accessed by infantry. As we can see here, tanks cannot pass. The Americans can approach from this side also, or from this side if they manage to bypass you by some miracle. The center of the map is the exact opposite. As you can see here, there's not a lot of cover for infantry. This will be a slaughter fest for tanks when they come here. So player 1 will be the one, as I said, that will need to push forward, push the Yankees back, hold it, and then gather the necessary strength to push them back into the base and then destroy them there. That would basically be it. I mean, you do have some, let's see, no you don't have. I'll explain later what is suggested. At the right side of the victory point here, again we have an infantry regiment, and compared to the center and left, this is a mixture of both. So you have buildings that can prove useful for urban environment warfare, but you also have enough space to move your vehicles around. Now looking at the other side of the map here, we will see that the Americans are relatively well fortified, especially here. As we can see, they know that infantry can only arrive here, so they put mines, so they put machine gun bunkers, just to make sure that the infantry cannot pass here. And they also have some artillery pieces here of their own, 4 left 18s, but it's not a problem. They lack the firepower, they even lack the range in my opinion, but that doesn't mean you should disregard them. This side of the map is different from yours because it has more buildings that can be garrisoned, more sandbags that can be used for heavy cover, and of course more bunkers at each and every side covering all passages available. With all that said, as we can see here, let's see a bit more of the map. We do have some buildings here, definitely more than compared here, and that would be it about the map layout. Now let's see the recommendations of some players, actually one player. So Kabul, again, he recommended that whoever is playing player 1 should choose the Soviet industry tactics for a number of reasons. First, you will get the repair stations, which will enable you to place these small structures at close points in order to efficiently and quickly repair your tanks at no cost, so your engineers can do some other tasks like repair a distant vehicle or construct a building. Why you would also choose that commander is because he has access to KV-2 heavy tanks, or as I like to call them, the Russian shooting box, which is quite a powerful tank in its own right, whether it be against infantry, tanks, whether it be in the offense or on the defense. Now as far as the other two players go, he didn't exactly specify like which one should go with what. That is up to their own discretion, but he did recommend for this side of the map if one could go as a defense commander of the Soviet Union, so he can place some tank barricades here and here, so he can provide a choke point so that the American armor cannot pass through, that way enabling you an easier time defending this side of the map. Also, speaking about the map again, the victory points serve as spawn points, so if you can connect your territory to these victory points, then your units can spawn from these ends of the map so that they can get quicker to the victory points in order to defend them or to assault from these positions onwards. Considering that we are talking about Americans, Air Force will be used, whether it be paratroopers, recon and bombardment. So you will need some half-tracks with anti-aircraft packages. Kabul recommended 3, though I would say 4, but 3 actually do the job. You place one here, you place one here, you place one here, and that's basically it. You don't have anywhere in the world. I think I covered the map. I hope it was entertaining for you. It was certainly entertaining for me, and I hope I was informative. But before I depart, one more important notice about this map is, as you can see, there's a lot of units, the population cap is large, and the map is large in itself. So if you have a average or below average computer like mine is relatively average, then your game will lag on this. And when I say lag, for example, when I was playing this map, I was luckily playing as the artilleryman, so I didn't play that of a crucial role except, bombarding some places. The lag was so strong that the units would execute the orders 20 to 30 seconds after I already ordered them. So if you do plan on playing this map, do bear in mind that if you have an average computer, that it will lag and it will lower the experience. But otherwise, if you have a strong computer, or a capable computer, and you wanted something of a grand strategy in Company of Heroes 2, then I cannot think of any other map than this one. It has different types of terrain or environments in which you can conduct combat, and the sheer scale of it with the reinforcements that you will get gives that incentive to go all out and feel like a general and not just a commander on a tactical level, but rather on a grand strategy level. Again, Seth Kiparis, I hope that you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time whenever that may be.